Okay, so there's one thing that I didn't actually cover in this video. The fact that 3x3 and 4x4s are essentially the same thing. Watch this set of moves that I do on a 3x3. Okay. See how they're essentially the exact same thing now? You can also think of it as this little 2x2 area in the center is a center right here, and this little 1x1x3 area is the edge in the corner, edge in the corner, and that's basically how it goes. You can solve them the exact same way. You know, I'm going to even show you that actually. We're going to mix this up. Okay, so we want white cross. I'm not going to do the beginner's method. I'm just going to show you. I'm going to show you CFOP, guys. I'm going to show you how CFOP works. F2L. Okay. F2L. Okay. Then F2L. Then F2L. Then what is this called? OLL? I think it's called OLL. And then PLL. It's the same thing as a 3x3. Hey guys, look, I cleaned my background. Kind of. There's still a bunch of dust here. I'll get that maybe next video. Anyway, today we're learning how to solve a 4x4 Rubik's Cube. In the last, like, 2 videos, I showed you how to solve a 2x2 and a 3x3. You're going to need to know how to solve both of those in order to solve this guy right here. Okay, so like I said, you do need to know how to solve both a 3x3 and a 2x2. So real quick, I'll just do a walkthrough solve of both of these things. So white layer, okay, and then, okay, so we got both corners in the right spot, all of them right there. Okay, solved, okay, and then white cross. So we want to put this in the right spot, 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 then insert that edge, insert this edge, insert this edge, there we go, insert this edge right here, then we have a bar, then we need to, okay, so we have corner, edge in the right spot, these two are switched, so we have to do that, and now they're all in the right spot. We have a corner in the right spot, and that's the only corner. So we do that, and now all the corners are in the right spot. Cube has been solved. Okay, so now I'm going to show you. You're going to start off like this, and then what you're going to do is you want to make this 2x2 area, this 2x2 center area solved. So we'll do that, and then the cube is going to look like this, where it has all of the centers solved. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to show you how to make the edges, solve the edges with all of the centers still solved, and then you're going to make a cross, kind of like what you did at the 3x3, except it's on the 4x4 now. We'll just make the cross right here just to show you guys what it looks like. This is the 3x3 cross. And then what you're going to do is I'm going to show you guys how to do the first 3 layers of a 4x4. And then what you'll do is you'll do that to the edges, and then they'll all be 3x3 edges, and then you basically will be treating it like it's a 3x3. Okay, so if you know how to solve a 2x2, you know how to do all these centers. But we're gonna show you, well, you know how to do the first center. I'm gonna show you how to do the opposite center now. So you're gonna you have this piece and this piece that are both on the bottom 2, and they align. So if I were to do this, they would align. So now all I have to do is I have to move this out of the way so that when I pull this back down to go back to the white center, this piece does not hurt. So now we want to get another yellow bar. So I see this one, top, bottom. So if I do that, it won't work. So what I have to do is I need to move this to the bottom so that we'll have this piece right here, this piece right here, and then you can just move. And it doesn't mess up anything since the white piece was right here. Now what we need to do is we need to do this so that makes sure that this yellow bar and this yellow bar are in the same layer. So we can push it up, and then we're gonna do a double turn to move it out of the way, move the white piece back down, and then this yellow bar will come up to here. Second off, I like to use red. So we're gonna make a red center. That should be pretty easy. It won't always be as easy as this, but let's just mix this up a little bit to make it a little bit harder. Okay, so let's start with this case right here. They're opposite of each other. All you have to do, make sure that you are doing it with yellow on this side and white on this side, or switched however you want to do it. But I like to do white on this side and yellow on this side, just a personal preference. And you'll see why later on. Move this forward. This is called a wide move, but I like to call it a split move. So we'll split it up, move this downwards so that they will both be in the bottom two. So we have this one right here. So you can do another split move and those two will be aligned. So second off, we need to do that again. We have a red piece right here and a red piece right here. We can easily, let's see, actually, we'll move this right here so that it's in the right spot. But now we need to get this red one right here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a double split, double move right there, and then double split again. And now they're in the right spot. So now we just have to do that. And now this is a little bit of the complicated part. We have white, red, yellow. Now if you've been cubing for a decent amount of time, you'll know that white is opposite of yellow, red is opposite of orange, and green is opposite of blue. Now, unless you have some weird color scheme, like if you have some weird color scheme on your cube, it'll be different. But on most color schemes, white, red, green. So what we need to do, we have a green bar right there, okay? So we're gonna move that in, but you might not have a green bar. So if you, let's say that you didn't have a green bar. So, okay, well, we got two green bars right there. So let's say that this just isn't anything. Let's just pretend that that's not there. We need to move this piece down here. How do we do that? Split move that over, split. So now that we have this green right here. Now, as I showed you before, when two center pieces are opposite, split move it over, split down. And then you'll have a green bar. What I recommend you do, you can do it either this way and then move with this one. But I like to do this one so that we can do this one, because I mean, that's just the way my hands move. Okay, so this one's kind of different from, usually we'll do the bottom two with bottom two, but this time we're going to do top two with top two. They align, so I can do a split move and then I can move it over and move it back down. Now you're probably getting the hang of manipulating the center pieces. So we just want to move this out of the way, move this red piece up, and then move this back into place and then move it back down. Keep in mind, white, red, green, and yellow are still all solved. So now there are going to be a few cases for the last two centers, and I'll show you each of them. The first one is a really easy one. We need to remember that we need to keep orange right here, because blue and green are opposite. So that we have green right here, so we need to have blue up here. So to get that, we'll move the blue up, double move, split back down, and then that'll be that. So the other cases are this. Now you may have noticed on the 2x2, there are moves like this. So if you know how to do this move where it's like a hook right here, you have yellow that'll align with the yellow, and you have a white that will align with the white, and then you'll just do another move to move them out of the way, and then you can double move again and then move them. It's gonna be the same thing on here. So we have a blue right here and an orange right here, and we have a blue right here and an orange right here. Move that up, move with the split move this over, and then move this back down, and you'll solve it. And there is one more case, a really hard case. I don't even know if I'll be able to replicate it because it's super rare, but I'll try to get it for you guys. The other case you might run into is this one. All you have to do is do what we've been doing before. Make sure that there's an orange right here and an orange piece right here. Move it up, split move and then move it down, and then you'll have this case from earlier, which we know how to do. Boom, 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 and now all the centers will be solved. So now this is where my method gets very different from other people's method. This is a like I showed you earlier. This is a layer by layer method. Most people just learn the advanced method immediately. So I had to actually invent this layer by layer method for a 4x4. So what we want to do, we have a lucky piece right here where the edge is already made, but let's say that we don't have that. We need to find a place like this where there is a white and blue piece next to a white and blue piece where we can do that. But it's not always going to be that easy. So let's mix this up a little bit. Okay, so I want to find that white and orange piece. You'll want to keep it on the left side. So what you want to do, white and blue piece, white and red piece, white and green piece, white and blue pieces right here. So let's start with this scenario where they are on the same layer. Wait, is that correct? Let's start with this case where they are on the same layer. Easy solution, really. Do a double move, double split, and then what you want to do is you want to move it over to this side and then move it down and then move it this way. But make sure that when you put another piece in right here into this spot, it's not an already complete spot. You want to make it a broken edge so that when you do your double split, it doesn't ruin your orange and white piece or whatever color you have. So we'll try that again. In order to solve an edge, by the way, you need to have them in this central area where you have yellow right here and white right here, or whatever color you're using, because it's impossible to do it when there's one piece right here and one of the pieces is over here, and it's also impossible to do it when they're both right there. So we're going to do what we did before. So we have their opposite right here, but they're correct right there. So we're going to do a double split and then move it over. Make sure that this piece is not a solved piece so that we can double split, and then it's done. So there's one more case, and it's like this, really easy. So we're gonna split it right there, or we're gonna split it right there. But now you run into the case where you can't actually do this without breaking another piece. What do? You move to this side. You move it over, move that piece down, and then split back. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna solve the white cross. We all know how to do this from the 3x3, I hope. You should be decently good at 3x3 before you attempt a 4x4. So we have the cross right there. So now what we gotta do is we need to find the piece that goes right here. For us, it's this spot right there. So for now, we'll just find a different spot. So let's solve the rest of the corners. Okay, so this piece needs to go right there. So what we're gonna do is the exact same method we did for the 3x3. Let's just, exact same method we did for the 3x3. Move this piece over, move this out, move this back over, move this down, then move this in here, move it away, move back over, and move it that way. Except we're gonna do it for the first 2 layers instead of the first 3 layers. Okay, and then for red and green. Then red and blue, we'll have to do the algorithm where we switch the edge. By the way, if that's too complicated, what you can actually do is, let's just switch it back. If that's too complicated for you, what you can actually do is just insert a yellow piece right there. So that way you don't have to learn any new algorithms. And then this piece is back down here, so you just insert it normally. Okay, so now the first two layers of a 4x4 is solved. Now what do we do? Well, we need to search the top layer for the pieces that need to go back in. Whoops, it appears that we have missed an edge piece. We'll put that in real quick. So now we are in a situation where we need this piece right here, but we also need this piece right here. What do? We're gonna move this over here, move this back down, do a split move, and then move this over, move that back down, twist this correctly, split move again. Let's do that the rest of the times that we need. So we have blue and red, blue and red. Now we have orange and blue, we're orange and blue, so we'll align that. And then we have one more piece, red and green, so it aligns right there. Okay, so now we are at a point where we are at the last layer. Now the last layer here is a lot different than the last layer in 3x3. So you're gonna do a split move, but you're only gonna move this layer, so it's gonna be like that. Then you're gonna move it to the side, and then you wanna move this piece right over here, because you don't wanna mess up the centerpiece. Then you're gonna do a split move back down, F3L I suppose you could call it. You're gonna put it back in, and now you'll have one edge piece solved. But you have to solve 4 edge pieces. So I see that this piece goes into here, but I also note that this piece goes into here. And if you watch what I do, if you watch the cube, you'll see that they come together. So now we are in a very interesting spot. Before we get into this, I'm actually gonna show you again just a little bit of a review. So we're gonna put in the corners. All right, and then we'll put in that edge right there because it's right there, so why not? Then we're gonna finish putting in the corners and then put in the edge pieces. And then we'll put in this other edge piece right here. And then we need to put in, this orange and blue piece needs to go right there. Then we need to put this blue and orange piece right there afterwards. Then this green piece goes right here. Then this red piece goes right here. Yo, I should cut my nails, look at these. Okay, so now we're in a situation where we need to solve these edges. We have, so I should probably told you what I just did. So when we're in a situation where these two are in the same layer, what you're gonna do is you're going to do the edge switching algorithm from the 3x3 to switch the edges around. And now we are in that case again. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a double turn right there on the bottom, and then move this piece, double, double. Boom, boom, boom. Now sometimes you will find yourself in a situation, we got lucky-ish right here, but sometimes you're gonna find yourself in a situation where you have all of the edges solved, except for these two. So what you wanna do is you wanna get them across from each other. So the way to do that is put them in the switching position. Now make sure when you do that, that they're not in the back or on this side, because if you remember from the 3x3, this edge and this edge don't get touched. It's these corners get switched. So now what you wanna do is you wanna make sure that these. Hey there everyone, currently doing a voiceover. I was not very clear when I said the word these. When I was referring to these, I meant yellow and red edge pieces. As we can see, the red and yellow edge pieces are in the same layer, as well as the blue and yellow pieces are in the same layer when you switch them. So you're gonna put this up right here, and then you're gonna follow me very closely. Okay, so then you're gonna take this piece and bring it back down, and now you basically have a 3x3. So let's solve it as a 3x3. Okay, so we need to switch this edge right here. Hopefully you remember how to do this from 3x3, and then we have a bar. So you may have noticed that this cube right here does not have a dot, does not have a hook, does not have a bar, and does not have a cross. This algorithm, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, I actually had to practice this algorithm off camera so that I could show you how to do it on camera. And because it's all in my muscle memory, I actually have to close my eyes and then slow this video down for you guys to see it. So we're gonna do it right now. I'm doing this again in wide angle so that you guys have a better chance of seeing everything that I'm doing. There we go. Okay, so now we're gonna do a walkthrough solve with this bar. Okay, so we have a cross, we have one edge and one edge in the right spot, that's good. Okay, so we have no layers in the right, no corners in the right spot. Okay, we got one corner in the right spot and no more corners in the right spot. So we got that one in the right spot, that one in the right spot. There's something that I want to tell you guys about though. You might run into a situation where you have two corners in the right spot. Now the reason that this happens is because there's actually a way to switch edges. And I'll show you what this guy is, what I mean by that. With this algorithm right here, you can switch edge pieces like that. And that then allows for things like this to happen, where corners are switched. How do we solve this? Well, like I just showed you, this algorithm right here will switch them back, and then all you have to do is find edge, 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 wrong edge, all edges in the right spot, one corner in the right spot, no more corners in the right spot, just one corner, and then we have all corners in the right spot. So we solve it like that. Hope you always remember that last D move right here, or it's not a really D move the way that you should be doing it. It's actually technically an R move, but I mean, some people use it as a D move. And now you know how to solve a 4x4.